Hello, my beautiful people. Just wanted to pour out a little encouragement from my heart today. If these videos lift you, helps you, or hugs your soul, please do 3-4 things for me. Like it, subscribe, leave a kind comment, and share it with someone who needs a word. Your cousin, your co-worker, your church crew, your neighbor, someone who's caught under some circumstances, wherever they might be. Let's spread hope together. Thank you for your love and time. You're part of this journey, and I'm grateful, so grateful. Now, let's dive into it. A few minutes for us, underdogs and strugglers in the Bible. What if your hardships aren't proof that you're falling behind, but proof that you're moving forward? What if each challenge is God's way of shaping your story for something far more significant than you would ever imagine? My name is Tony Lewis, and here I'm again, y'all. And as usual, it's my plum-pleasing pleasure to share with you today a few minutes for us. The U is for underdogs, and the S is for strugglers in the Bible. Today, we will give you a snapshot, as usual, of a scriptural character, the story in a picture, the struggle principle, the success principle, and the lesson to practice. You know, I always say we got to do something, of underdogs and strugglers in the Bible. Let me tell you about the 27th biblical character we will look at today. It's Naomi. Naomi, she navigated with a nurturing God. She navigated with a nurturing God. Let me tell you her story. It's in Ruth chapter 1-4. She went from Bethlehem to bitterness. She had Bethlehem beginnings because she lived in Bethlehem, which means the house of bread. There was a breakdown in the bread. What? A famine forced her and her family to move to Moab. Her two sons married Moabite women, Oprah and Ruth. Then bereavement and brokenness jumped in, and her husband and sons died, leaving her with grief and sadness. She moved back to Bethlehem. She went back home, y'all, and Ruth by her side. Check it out. Let me tell you about her struggle. She went from fullness to frustration, from hope to hardship. Let me say that again. From fullness to frustration, from hope to hardship. Can anybody relate to that? A famine forced her family from Bethlehem to Moab. Funerals followed her as her husband and two sons died in Moab. Lord have mercy. She was feeling forsaken and believed that the Lord had dealt bitterly with her. She felt crushed by loss and loneliness. She felt her future was frightening. No husband, no sons, no security, no money. My God, it didn't look good. Her faith was frail, and she even wanted to be called Mara, which means bitter, instead of Naomi, which means pleasant. What? You changed your name, sister? She left Bethlehem full with her family, but came back empty. Let me tell you about this sister's success. She went from being bitter to better, blessed, bitter to blessed. Her friendship of Ruth showed her she was not forgotten. Her faith was rekindled as she returned to Bethlehem in harvest time. Her family was restored when Ruth married Boaz, her kinsman redeemer. Oh yeah, you know, like Jesus. She had a fruitful future as she held Obed, her grandson, in her arms. She received fame, for Obed would be the grandfather to King David, from which the lineage of Jesus, the Messiah, came. My God, hallelujah! But what's the lesson? What's the lesson? God turns setbacks into setups. God turns setbacks into setups. So remember, When you struggle like Naomi, when you face financial famine, and your fridge and pantry seems bare, when you attend too many funerals, I'm not talking to anybody, and sorrow fills your soul, my God, when you feel forsaken as though God has forgotten your name, what? When your future feels frightening with no clear path ahead, when your faith feels frail and bitterness seems to be your only name. Remember when you succeed through struggles like Naomi, when you've learned or leaned on faithful friendships and God has surrounded you with loyal people like Ruth, when you've trusted in God's favorable timing and your harvest has come after the famine. Yeah, the good times is here. When you see your family restored and God has rebuilt what you thought was ruined. I don't know who I'm talking to right now, but let me say that one more time. When you see your family restored and God has rebuilt what you thought was ruined. When you held on to your fruitful future and God has blessed generations through you. When you realize your failure wasn't final, your failure was not final, and God has turned your bitterness into blessings and connected your story to His greater story. Remember, God turns setbacks into setups. God turns setbacks into setups. To God be the glory. I'm out, y'all.